Welcome back to Tendencies. I am your host, Jay Suave.
And I am Jreese.
And before we talk about anything football related, I want to talk about the NBA starting tonight. We currently are going to have the Knicks at Boston tonight. Boston putting up banner number 18. Yes, sir, ski. We're gonna have
Boo.
Timberwolves versus the Lakers at around 9. But I'm excited the NBA is finally back. I mean, NBA was kind of peak last year, but of course I'm gonna think that. But
NBA was
it,
trash
it,
last year. That's what it was.
don't be mad that
Garbage.
y'all lost, bro.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not mad that I lost. Honestly, I'm okay that the Heat didn't win the finals. You know what I'm saying? I'm mad that the Celtics won the finals. It could have been any other team. I hate. There's only two teams that the two teams that I hate the most in the league went to the finals, and I was really hoping that the Mavericks. I was so angry because I was rooting for the Mavericks. I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and root for Mavericks because I hate this sorry ass Boston team. And you know what? They lost, and I'm so sick because all basketball season long, Jalen's gonna keep bringing that up to me. The Celtics won the chip. How many rings does Jimmy have? Like bro,
That's real, bro. How
God,
many rings Jimmy got?
God, I'm so angry,
I can't say too much, bro. Besides how many rings they got, bro.
so
Come on
mad,
now.
so
Because
mad.
because if y'all would have won a chip, y'all do the same thing to me.
Nah, bro, I wouldn't, bro. What was you talking about? I'd be low key
Exactly.
about
But
it, bro. I'd be low key. I'd be
now,
nonchalant, bro.
now you hear lying, bro.
Bro, I've
But
never told a lie in my life,
speaking of the Knicks, Jaden just sent me a video of Mikal Bridges' jump shot.
bro. It's
And,
so
and,
bad
and,
now.
and this might be up there with Sean Marion, y'all.
Like,
I ain't gonna lie.
because the thing is, like, I'm not gonna say he had the most butter jump shot in the league because he obviously wasn't, but bro changed it over the offseason for no reason, and like now it just won't hit. He went like 4 of 25 in the preseason or something horrible like that from the three, and it was just like, why would you change your 3 point shot? Like it was hitting before, like, and you're not a guy that would get injured constantly, so like it's not like anything like he has like constant shoulder pain because he got a shoulder injury or something like that. So like I really don't understand the reasoning for him changing his jump shot when there was nothing wrong with it in the first place. Because now it just looks robotic and it's just not fluid no more.
Most definitely. And I'm excited for this game. I'm excited just because the Knicks look a lot better this year, and I kind of want them to stay healthy throughout the year. So
Hmm.
especially whenever playoffs come, no matter who they play, I'm so tired of hearing they were injured, they were injured, they were injured. You know,
Hmm.
and this happens in the East and in the West. And the Celtics did go through injured teams, but at the same time, they were first seed, and whenever you're first seed, you're gonna play low seeding teams. So I'm just not gonna like hate there, like agree with people there. And I mean, injuries happen all the time. So
Hmm.
hell, if Robert Williams wasn't injured, they probably could have won against the Warriors in 22. But y'all don't hear me complaining about that. So why you shake your head, bro?
What you talking about, bro? What you
Why
talking
you
about?
shake your head,
Let's
bro?
talk about the Wolves and the Lakers. They're talking about Bronny's gonna get some playing time early in the game around the second quarter. All I know is that Ant's gonna be talking mad trash to Bronny, and it's gonna be so funny because if LeBron's on the court, I don't see LeBron's reaction. Like he's gonna be telling LeBron, "Yo, son, trash. Get somebody else on me," or something like that. Like it's gonna be so funny, bro. It's like, like I'm excited to see what happens there, but it should be a good
Bro,
matchup. The
there is
Lakers.
no way he goes out there guarding Anthony Edwards. If
Bro,
I
that's
see that tonight,
that's probably who's gonna
bro,
they're gonna put him on that because or they're probably gonna have on Mike Conley, which Mike Conley probably it's not gonna be an easy matchup for Bronny that way, but it's gonna be way easier than Ant. But what's it called? Because
bro,
Bronny plays the one, right?
ah, he plays the one, but like he's finna go in whenever like their second string goes in, like Rob Dillingham
Oh yeah,
and stuff like that. They're
yeah.
not gonna
Rob
put him
Dillingham
against
cooked
like a
them
top.
in what's it called? What's it called? The preseason this year.
Yeah, but I mean like if that happened, what you think gonna happen whenever he go against 6'4", 225 Ant, bro?
I don't know, bro.
Be
But
sick,
it should
bro.
be a good matchup. I think that this Lakers team they didn't add a lot, but I think you can definitely see that the culture's changed a lot since JJ Redick's been there. Having guys play harder, playing their position differently, and JJ Redick is just more hands on than Darvin Ham was, and you can tell by their body language and demeanor of the team. So I'm excited for that game. Excited for the Lakers this
Did
season in
you
general.
did you see the Nike commercial where LeBron poured
I sent
fruity
it in the chat,
pebbles
didn't I?
in
Oh no,
down
I'll
his
post it on my
scarf?
story. I posted it on my story.
I don't know, but I ended up seeing it. I was like, this is hilarious.
Bro, I said I said on my story, I said, the NBA's back when they're getting those La Nike ads. I was like, well,
Nah, for real, bro. They're giving us those, what's it called? The old OG ads, bro.
bro,
I miss that.
LeBron, bro, y'all weren't there, bro. When what's it called? LeBron was in Miami. We were getting those Nike ads with LeBron and his LeBron family, and they were all played by LeBron. And it
Yes, bro.
turned into a spinoff of a LeBron TV show, bro. Called the LeBrons. It was like an animated show with the LeBron family. It was crazy, bro. Y'all weren't there. Y'all weren't tuned in with LeBron like me.
Bro, literally everybody was tuned in with
Nah, shut up.
LeBron.
No, I don't care.
Literally, this was prime Braun we're talking about.
I don't care what I was talking about.
But but going into NFL news, I kind of want to start with this recap. We saw almost a game of the year on Sunday with the Lions and the Vikings, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean it was looking like the Vikings were gonna take off and kind of win this game and in blowout fashion. It was looking because it was
Mm-hmm.
10-0 at halftime. They come out after the half. Lions dropped 21 unanswered. We're like, okay, this might go the other way. Cool. The Vikings were trailing double digits at 2 points in this game, and were still able to bring out and just come back,
Mm-hmm.
And it was like you really don't know who's gonna win this game. And speaking of winning the game, I won my parlay this week, y'all. So I'm hype, and I'm putting my winnings on another parlay next week.
Gambling.
But
It's an addiction. Can't beat. I beat it because I kept losing, so I had no choice to beat it. But
bro, I literally didn't do it for like a whole year until like now.
mhm.
But but the Vikings trailed on two different occasions, fought their way back, and I'm gonna say this: cameras on. This is on the record. Jared Goff needs to be a MVP candidate, and I'll say that right now.
That's not crazy to
This
say.
team is top top of the NFC, 18 for 18 in a primetime game, and just threw 22 for 25 passing.
Mm-hmm.
And this team is at the top of their game right now, and they started off slow. They won games and started off slow because we talked about this on the pod. We were like, Jared Goff just doesn't look good so far.
Mm-hmm.
He heard what we said, bro. He basically said, "Oh, word." He said they told me I fell off. I needed that, and bro went crazy.
Bro heard I wanted Hendon
But
Hooker to get in the game, and he was like, "No, no." But yeah, Jared Goff's been playing insane football. It was such a close game, and he had great plays from both sides. You had a long runs from Jameer Gibbs. You had a deep bomb to Jay Jettas. It was everything you wanted everything you wanted in a game in this NFL season, especially between two division rivals. It was just great TV. And Jared Goff, that wasn't a crazy take at all. He deserves to be in the MVP conversation. But talking about division rivals, let's go ahead to my division. Let's talk about this division game right here. Cause finally, bro, after over a year, we finally beat a team more than two possessions, and we beat the Giants 28-3, and it felt so great. Just a stress-free Sunday from me. I haven't had one of these, and I don't even know how long. Every Sunday's been stressful for me since the Dolphins game last year. So finally having to watch a game where we don't have to worry about you know a team coming back because our defense wanted to have 8 whopping sacks. We were getting no
dang,
sacks the first 2, 3, 4 weeks of the season, but we had 8 sacks this game. The last 2 weeks we've had 13 sacks and have only let up 12 points. We've had more sacks the last 2 weeks than we had points allowed, which is crazy. Shout out to Big Fangio. I know after week 4 before the bye, I was like saying, because I still wouldn't have preferred Vic Fangio before the preseason coming into Philadelphia to BRDC because I was so tired of that Vic Fangio style defense. But he's turned it around and this has been looking great. Quinion Mitchell should be one of those guys. I think should be like top 3 in defensive rookie of the year candidates. Bro's been locked down the whole season. No matter that's not even biased speaking. That he's just been the best corner in the draft so far and one of the best defensive players in the league. If only like if bro could have had an interception each game this season, but bro has butterfingers. You know what I'm saying? This is why he plays defense, so you can't be mad at him. But them Georgia boys showed out, bro. Kobe Dean 2 sacks, Jalen Carter 2 sacks, Nolan Smith Jr. 1 sack. Said it before the season. It's on our Instagram that he was gonna take a leap this season. It's not as big of a leap as I thought he was gonna take, but you can tell he's definitely taken a leap since his rookie year.
Yeah,
Jalen Hunt 1 sack, Josh Sweat 1 sack, Bryce Huff finally has a sack, finally 5 pressures. Finally doing something this season. You know how I was feeling about him before the bye week. So it's good to see
yeah,
that he's playing better at the position. That's because now we're letting him play down instead of playing up in a linebacker position. He's playing down, hand in the ground, coming off the edge like that, which has definitely helped improve his explosiveness off the line, which is great. Jalen Hurts efficient, 114 yards. He only had 5 incompletions the whole game, or no, he had 4 incompletions the whole game. He was 10 of 14, 114 yards, 1 passing touchdown, 4th and 3. Pressure screaming down his face, throws it off his back foot to AJ Brown perfectly. Dot
bro.
touchdown.
Quit glazing this man, making bro. Bro is giving every detail,
You're
bro.
right, bro.
We get it,
Y'all don't
bro.
get it because we gonna
We
still see in
get
the media
it.
that Jalen Hurts isn't doing enough. You know what I'm saying? But what more do you want, bro? 10 to 14 in a game where the
More,
run
like
game
Kobe said,
where the run
more.
game is working as efficiently as it was. Because speaking of the run game, Saquon Barkley revenge game, averaging 10.4 yards a carry, 176 yards in the game, 17 carries and a touchdown. Like he was bleeding belt to ass against the Giants, bro, and it felt so good because they did him wrong. You know what I'm saying? I never thought we were gonna get him. I thought he was gonna go somewhere else, and the fact that he came here, and the Giants were like, we're being so cheap with them. Being with your best player on the team, offense or defense, this is their best player in general, and then he comes to a division rival and does that to y'all, and it's just y'all are idiots for that. You know what I'm saying? But finally felt good in Philadelphia. Finally felt good in my home. I finally felt peace in a long time. So it's not gonna happen this week though because they're playing the Bengals. But it felt good to have that 1 week of peace.
Yeah, and speaking of this team, they really paid Daniel Jones 160 million to do nothing, bro.
And then bench him in the fourth
Like,
quarter.
bro, I saw this stat and it was like people who have scored more points in MetLife Stadium than Daniel Jones in the past year, and
Hmm.
it's a list of like freaking 15 guys that play other sports that literally play other sports
Bro,
and have
there was
scored
a
more
stat
points.
that said um, that Daniel Jones has not had a touchdown at MetLife Stadium since before he signed his contract.
Bro, like, why would you even pay a dude like that, bro? And this
Hmm.
is my thing. Bro, I remember whenever he got benched, I'm sorry, but like ESPN makes the graphics so funny. They use they used a terrible picture of Daniel Jones. He looks distraught. And they just put the words benched in red
Guy with his
in
hand
a
like
in a black backdrop, bro. Bro, I was laughing out loud. I was like, y'all can't do him like this, bro. This is defamation at its finest.
they're saying that what's it called? This is about to be Jalen Milroe's team next year. Honestly, if Jalen Milroe comes to the team, they'll be better. But I don't think Jalen Milroe's gonna do that great in this situation. I don't know. Like I like Jalen Milroe, don't get me wrong, but we saw like we seen what his limitations. You know what I'm saying? I said it last week. I think where I was like he's gotten better since his last season throwing the ball. He's always been a really great runner, and like he's made that improvement this season. But we saw at the end of last game against Tennessee where he threw that horrible pass for like it's just a horrible decision and a horrible ball at the end of the game when the team were in prime position that they could have won. You know what I'm saying? They just had to drive down the
Yeah.
field and score. Was it a touchdown or was it a field goal? We're down by 4 or 3.
They were down by 4.
Okay, so they needed a touchdown, but they could have done it. You know what I'm saying? Because they had the weapons. It was just a horrible pass to looking directly at the tight end running the in route. The safety wasn't fooled at all. Safety was able to bite down on that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that the only thing efficient thing, the good thing about Jalen Murray going to New York, if they do go that direction, which is like way early, then we should be talking about this. But if he went to New York, is Brian Dayball. I think Brian Dayball will be able to get him will be a good coach for him. Get him put him in the right direction.
Most definitely. And while we're on the topic of that, I do kind of want to talk about that game because Tennessee should have blown them out.
Hmm.
They really should have blown Alabama out. Nico, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I didn't learn how to pronounce his last name, but Nico overthrew like 3 touchdowns. Like, and the thing is, they only won by 7, and they didn't even look good last week. They played an unranked South Carolina and only won by 2. You know,
Hmm.
like that was a game that people were like, "Oh, they might lose back to back." They just lost 2 out of their last 3. So, like, I mean, there's really trouble brewing over in Tuscaloosa.
Hmm.
And I'd be sick if I was a fan because honestly, like, y'all, I mean, they can still make playoffs, of course, since there's 12 teams. But first off, you'd have to win out, which honestly, you can beat Missouri, which they
Hmm.
play this Saturday. You're gonna go play LSU the next week, and LSU is kind of, I don't know, they kind of like seem wishy washy. So I'm not gonna say they can't win that game, but that game is also in Death Valley.
Hey, what is
So
Alabama ranked right now?
I would be worried. 15.
15. Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the thing is,
So
like,
they basically have to win out.
yeah, and at that point they still might make it. Because then they still have the committee to decide who makes it like for those like bottom seeds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like
But
they
like
might still make it just because they're Alabama, even if like they're at that point. But me and Lotto were talking about it. It's like just Jalen Milroe is just inconsistent with his passing. Sometimes he'll make that really great throw down the field, but then he'll miss. He'll overthrow or underthrow a 10 yard in or a 5 yard slant. You know what I'm saying? So it's like honestly, I think because they have Ryan Williams, which is a really great receiver. They have great weapons all around. I just think that quarterback position needs to be a little bit better. Like Jalen Monroe just needs to be a little bit. If Jalen Monroe tightened his game up, then they would have beat what's it called, Tennessee, because they really didn't need to do much. It's just Jalen Monroe had 2 interceptions and one of them was at the very end
yeah.
of the game. So it's just
Yeah, bro.
they need better quarterback play. That's really it. Because I don't think it's a coaching issue. I don't think I think the game against Vanderbilt, that was a defensive issue, not a coaching issue, or not a Jalen Monroe problem. Even though Jalen Monroe did fumble the ball like late in the game, but like I don't really blame him for that because he was like really blindsided. It was like just a
Yeah.
bang bang play. But I think Jalen Monroe's been really on and off his season. I was never expecting him to win Heisman, and he was like leading the Heisman like polls at like after week 4 or something, which I thought was kind of crazy. But yeah, I think it's
I
just a
mean,
quarterback issue for them at this point.
after week 4, that was after they beat Georgia, so everyone was on
Hmm.
the Alabama train.
Like
So
even
and they
after that,
and all
I didn't think he deserved it after the Alabama win. You know what I'm saying? After the Georgia win, even though he did play good that game, I
yeah,
still didn't think.
it just kind of like solidified like his standing because their 3 games
Yeah.
before that they blew everybody out. So it was like
Hmm.
they're coming back for vengeance. Kalen DeBoer is nice and everything. But after that, it was just kind of cooked. Like, and honestly, like, of course, Milrow needs to step up,
Hmm.
but also the defense has to step up. I mean, we remember the whole Malachi Moore situation where he's crashing out on the field
Hmm.
next, like, against Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
Diego Pavia was 16 for 20, 250 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Hmm.
Like, why are you trying to crash out? This is your defense. You're a fifth year senior.
Hmm.
And I know like this was last week and everything, but the fact that they lost again this week to a sophomore at that, and they shouldn't have lost. I mean, Nico didn't play good at all. He had 1 touchdown, 1 interception, like 150 yards with like he was like 50% completion, maybe a bit lower.
Hmm.
But like just seeing this team not being able to take advantage of opportunities that they need to be taking advantage of,
Hmm.
and against a team, of course, there was 11 before this game started. So they're a good team. They're a ranked team. But like y'all were just in the playoff last year.
Hmm.
Y'all kept y'all's main guys. Y'all kept the only main guy that y'all lost was Caleb Downs, and no one even throws his way at Ohio State. So like, I mean, we're chilling, but like, it's just not a good look for Bama at all.
Yeah, for sure. Like let's keep it in college football for a little bit. Cause I want to talk about Georgia beating Texas. You know what I'm saying? We have a boy Texas fan. I was happy that Georgia won because I don't like Georgia, but I can't see him succeed. as a Texas fan. So I was glad that Georgia beat them 30-15. There's 3 fumble recoveries from Georgia. They had 7 sacks. Like it was so bad at halftime they had benched Quinn Ewers for Arch Manning. Arch Manning went in there and played bad too. Then they like Quinn Ewers came back out of half. Like I think every quarterback in that game played bad. Quinn Ewers, Arch Manning, and Carson Beck. Carson Beck had was 3 interceptions that game. So like Quinn Ewers and Carson Beck, that draft stock is just going down as we speak. But that
Yeah.
Georgia defense was just going insane against Texas. Like Quinn Ewers had no answer to what they were throwing at him.
Yeah, and this is the thing about it. Whenever you can run the ball
Mm-hmm.
and stop the run at the same time, you're gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had a lot of sacks on yours. They had, I think Texas only had like 29 rushing yards the whole game, and Georgia had like 108. Like
Yeah.
you said, whenever you can run the ball, you control the game. And
Mm-hmm.
we even said this about like the NFL playoffs.
Yeah.
And we saw this with Georgia. Carson Beck literally looked terrible. If anyone tells me anything else, you're just glazing and you're wrong.
Yeah.
Like he did not look good against Texas. And besides Alabama, this was like really the only like team that you would really want them to see this year. And
Mm-hmm.
of course I think they already played Missouri, but they also played teams like freaking who else did they have a close game? But they had a close game at Mississippi State. They should have lost to Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes me mad too. They should have lost to Kentucky, but they didn't. They ended up pulling that out. But during the rest of the year, I think they're going to end up playing. They're going to play Ole Miss. They're going to play Tennessee, and they're going to play Florida, which isn't a good team, but Florida might
Upset.
make a little run for
Mm-hmm.
their money. I don't think they upset them. I think they might make it a little bit close though. So Georgia's gonna win that one though. Not gonna lie.
Earlier you was
But
talking about what's it called? Jared Goff for MVP. I want to talk about who I think should win MVP. That guy, that boy in Baltimore. I said it last week.
I
Lamar
was about to talk about
Action
this. Yeah,
Jackson. Bro, 17 to 22, 281 yards, 5 touchdowns. He had the same amount of touchdowns as he had incompletions that game, bro. Bro was
yeah,
going crazy against Tampa Bay. Like you can't forget about Derrick Henry. Like bro had a quiet first half. Like he had like what was it, 21 yards in the first half on 4 carries or something like that. Then second half took off, ended the game with 15 carries, 169 yards. It's just that offense. This is what we were expecting in the offseason, right? Just Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson feasting the whole game.
yeah,
And that's not what we saw the first 2 weeks. We were like, it was like, the offensive line, is really struggling. And now they're just full steam ahead, dominating teams, right? It's like,
yeah,
it's just, you love to see it. I feel like Baltimore is one of those teams that unless you're in the AFC North, it's just hard to hate.
yeah. And Derrick Henry's having himself a year, of course, and
Hmm.
they're back winning 5 games straight after their 2 losses to start off the season. And I want to say this against the Bucks, it was like I don't know. I don't know why they let up on the gas whenever it was 41-18.
Hmm.
Because like I stopped watching whenever it was that. Then I come back whenever Chris Godwin like freaking breaks his ankle
Hmm.
and it's 41-31, and I'm like, what is going on? The thing is, they did the same thing against the Cowboys too. It literally reminded me of the Cowboys game. But the way we've seen the Ravens be able to control games with an amazing run game and a stifling defense, it's just been insane this year. Like I was watching the game yesterday, and I'm like, how can anyone prepare for this? Like seriously, because Lamar is such a matured thrower now,
Hmm.
and you have one of the best running backs in the league. You have you have basically a wide receiver one or like a high tier wide receiver two for your team. And bro, it's just like how do you stop it? You have one of the fastest guys in the league at every position.
Hmm.
Like that's insane,
Lamar,
bro.
Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, like crazy.
And the thing is, Derrick Henry couldn't even finish the run,
I
bro.
know. Bro got
His
pushed out of
81 yard
bounds. I was
run.
like, because bro was gone. Bro be moving so fast in slow motion, just too big. He had Lamar down the field, lead blocking and everything. Like,
That's fire
he
though.
has to
That's a
finish
leader
that one right
though.
there.
Like, bro, I love whenever QBs lead block because it always
Hmm.
makes the play so much better, bro.
For real. What was it? What game was I watching? It was a game the other night where somebody bounced it back outside. I think it was a holding. It wasn't the Steelers. It was. It might have been. It might have been the Seahawks, and then what's it called? Who was it? Who's their running back? Freaking freaking
Kenneth Walker.
yes, thank you. Kenneth Walker bounces back out right to the outside. And you have Geno Smith in the front, just lead blocking, just standing in front of a linebacker, getting in his way, so that Kenneth Walker walking in the end zone. Pretty sure that's what it was. If not, I just don't remember it, and I'm an idiot. But I think that's what happened. But I love when quarterbacks
Yeah,
lead block too, bro.
I was surprised they won by 20 points, bro.
The Seahawks.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and speaking of them winning by 20, Michael Penix got his first start this week. This weekend,
Not
yeah.
first start, but
I
first
really,
action, first live action.
yeah, first action. I really wasn't watching the game after they scored 30. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't even want to watch it. And even my team, bro. Oh my goodness, y'all, y'all don't understand. Like, I'm gonna give y'all this depiction of my Sunday watching my team. My Sunday consisted of watching my team. Probably lasted like 5 minutes. Probably lasted 5 minutes, bro. I'm watching. I'm watching Andy Dalton on 3rd and 9. Right, 3rd and 9. 11 minutes and 29 seconds left in the first quarter. We run a screen like we're the Brian Johnson led Philadelphia Eagles. When I tell you we get picked off by 30-year-old Dante Fowler. This man was drafted in 2015. Like, he threw it right to Dante Fowler. There wasn't, oh, it got tipped. No, bruh. Threw it straight to Mans. I was so sick. I didn't even watch the touchdown. I turned it off. I literally turned it off. And I didn't watch the game for the rest of the day. I watched like almost every other single game. I think I watched the Bills instead, bro. I was like, I can't do
It
this.
was it was crazy, bro. Because then Jaden Daniels went down with a rib injury, and Marcus Mariota came in. I was like, oh, it might become a closer game. No, no.
No. No.
Marcus Mariota was
18
out
for
here throwing
20.
touchdown passes to Zach Ertz in 2024. Mind you, what I said, like crazy.
Like, he was like 18 for 20, 169 yards, bro, and a
Hmm.
tud. Like, what are we doing? This
Marcus
man got injured
Mariota
on the set. We got 40 balled by Marcus Mariota.
in
And, like, people,
2024. He was out
and
here
people
throwing
expect
touchdown
me to
passes in
watch this team.
2024. Zach Ertz, bro, crazy.
That we just suck, bro.
Bro, that was insane work, bro. That was
This makes me
crazy work.
so mad. But but yeah, bro, we're just in trouble as a team. And speaking of trouble, is trouble brewing in San Francisco. We have seen this team go through it this year as they're sitting at 3-4. They still have Christian McCaffrey out with an Achilles injury. Brandon Ayuk just got out for the season with a torn ACL. Debo Samuel was hospitalized because of pneumonia. George Kittle injured his foot. Talanoa Hufanga injured his wrist. Dre Greenlaw with his Achilles. Jake Moody with his ankle. Jawan Jennings with his hip. Javon Hargrave with tricep injury. All of the firepower for this team is kind of burning out. So, how are we thinking that the 49ers kind of, or do we think that they kind of come back next week with the Cowboys coming off the bye?
Hmm.
How do we think they respond to that?
All right, first, I want to say I'm happy that the San Francisco downfall is happening. I prayed for this. I'm not happy with how it's happening. I never want to see anyone get hurt. Brandon Ayuk, I like Brandon Ayuk as a player. It sucks that he's out for the year. Especially
Yeah.
after just getting his bag. Um, Debo Samuel, people were out there joking. Debo is like Debo ate too much. It's like Debo put the fork down, Samuel, stuff like that. But like I knew before the game he was sick, so I was like, I wonder why people are like just getting on his head like that. They were saying he had an illness, but like Brock Purdy had 3 interceptions the other day, and people aren't talking about that in the media. Talking about he didn't have his weapons. Y'all didn't give Jalen Hurts the same flag. Jalen Hurts without his weapons went to Tampa Bay. He played a pretty okay game, and all he did was fumble the ball once. And y'all were getting on Jalen Hurts' head. You know what I'm saying? Parker Pretty goes out there without his weapons, 3 interceptions. Oh, but he doesn't have his weapons.
Bro, but the thing is, we said this about him last year whenever they lost to the Ravens, like in Week
No, I'm just
14
saying.
on Christmas.
I'm just saying right now. I'm just saying right now. This moment, the media, the NFL media, is not giving Purdy the same slack as Jalen Hurts. I'm not. I don't want to say it. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I want to say. Why they're giving Jalen Hurts that slack? You know what? I will say it. It's because Jalen Hurts is black. That's really it. That's all I wanted to say. But yeah, man. It's like this Tampa Bay, San Francisco team. They're in trouble because not only did they lose 2 crucial games where they had prominent leads to 2 division rivals in Arizona and LA. So now that Arizona won last night, now San Francisco. I keep calling it Tampa Bay. San Francisco's now in 3rd place. They're behind the Seahawks and Arizona now because they have the same record as Arizona, but Arizona has a tiebreaker. So I
Yeah,
think that this team is done. So this is a team now that we thought, we're gonna make another run at it to the NFC Championship, right? Now they're over here fighting for a wild card spot, you know, in a honestly a pretty good NFC. You got teams like the Lions, the Vikings, the Eagles look like they're finding some steam. The Commanders. I was gonna say Tampa Bay was one of those teams, but I don't think they have the firepower anymore, especially with Mike Evans going down for the next few weeks. Chris Godwin's done
and
for the
Chris
season.
Godwin. Yeah,
I think that Tampa Bay team is done, and I think it's honestly the Falcons' division to take because we know
Panthers, bro. What do you mean?
the other 3 teams aren't gonna make a run for it. Especially, I'm not gonna say which team, but especially one of the teams right now that's 1-5.
All right, bro. All right, bro.
But I think this Tampa Bay team is in trouble because also you have all these people on these big contracts, and the reason why you're able to give these guys these big contracts because Brock Purdy is still on that rookie deal of being the last pick in the draft, only making $900,000 a season, not even a milli. And then when
Yeah,
it's time for him to get extended, are they going to be able to extend him? How much are they going to be willing to offer him? Because you know how he plays whenever his main guys aren't playing healthy. Do you look to send Purdy out before then to try to get drafts capital in order to draft another quarterback? What are you going to do with this quarterback situation? Because I think they're going to re-sign Purdy. But I feel like at that point they're going to have to trade somebody away. And it's probably going to be Deebo Samuel, to be honest. Deebo's probably going to be gone sooner rather than later because they just re-signed Ayuk, and I think that one of those core guys on offense is going to get moved for cap space, and I don't. It's not going to be Christian McCaffrey. It's not going to be Brandon Ayuk. And it's definitely not going to be George Kittle. So Debo's the only viable option at that point. I
yeah.
honestly they might move Christian McCaffrey with the way Jordan Mason's been playing. I wouldn't like because with that injury that Achilles tendonitis in both Achilles, they probably don't know what they're gonna get um with with Chris McCaffrey coming back. And hopefully he's the same player, but honestly, I really doubt it because it's both Achilles, both legs. So, but I'm sorry for you
Yeah,
because I know
bro.
that's your boy. But
That's my dog for real. But at the same time, bro, I just hate the 49ers, bro.
me too.
Like you know me. Any time that we play them, we get freaking 50 balled. But I was happy to see them lose against the Chiefs. I wasn't rooting for them in the Super Bowl either because I thought the
Hmm.
Chiefs were going to
Me
win.
neither.
And some takeaways from this game. And I'm glad that like people are finally noticing this because like now that they're 3-4, people are going to look into why they're 3-4. They can't handle the blitz. Chris Jones and George Karlaftis came off the edge with ease almost every play during this game. I mean, Trent Williams, like, of course, he has himself a day every game.
Hmm.
But like, if George isn't on your side and Chris Jones isn't playing defensive end, which sometimes he will go out there, like, the offensive line is cooked, then then what's it going? Kansas City kind of kept on sending rushers because they knew they wouldn't get picked up, especially if 4 guys aren't getting picked up. Like, come on, bro. Let's just send like 6. Let's send 7. But Brock Purdy has not been good at throwing the ball this season,
Hmm.
and you can't win games if you can't throw the ball well. It's as simple as that. Like literally, we saw this. You can have the best running back in the league and still not win games. We saw it with Panthers Christian McCaffrey. We saw that with Titans Derrick Henry. You
Hmm.
know, those guys had 2,000 yard seasons and still had losing seasons.
Hmm.
So I mean, if you can't throw the ball, you probably won't win. But they just need to improve. And I don't know how they can't. They can't beat man coverage, especially with all their guys. And now that Debo Samuel's going to be maybe out next week, I don't know, with pneumonia. Brandon Ayuk's out for the season. George Kittle just kind of runs crosses and tries to get open somehow. I mean,
They're gonna rely on
it's just
Ricky Pearsall coming out of IR after getting shot in the chest. You have Juwan Jennings, who has a hip injury. That's who your two leading receivers are gonna be this week. So it's gonna be a really tough ask.
that's what I'm saying, bro. And they released my boy Terrace Marshall, so we really got beef, bro. I hate that team.
I hate that team too. I really had no problem with that team beforehand until they kept talking trash. And the thing that set it off was Debo talking because I like Debo, especially after that one image of him kicking his feet in the air after beating the Cowboys that one year. I was like, that's my
Yeah.
dog. And then bro came out and talking trash about James Bradbury, which is justified. But like, what's it called? Like, I couldn't let that slide because that's my team. And then bro, they pulled up in all black last year and beat the shit out of us.
Belt to ass, bro.
I was like, yeah, I can't root for this team in any way anymore. Like now, they're my second most hated team behind the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, bro. And speaking of teams which quarterbacks just aren't playing well, we're gonna go ahead and get into our next topic, y'all. The Jets, they just don't look good, and I really don't know what to say. Besides, like, it has to be an Aaron Rodgers thing. There, I said it. It has to be an Aaron Rodgers thing. And I'm gonna just say this because you have everything you need. You have offensive line, somewhat.
They don't have.
You
No,
have
let's take that one back. They don't have an offensive line. Take that one back.
okay. I don't think they're that terrible.
I
They're
think
not as bad as the Texans' offensive line, and the Texans have a winning record. Like if you go back and watch the film on that Texans game, you'd be like, "How did C.J. Stroud survive?"
hmm he
So,
didn't. What's it called? 86 passing yards.
but I don't think Aaron Rodgers is the right guy for them. They have all the talent that they really need on offense. Garrett Wilson. They just got Tay. I really just don't know.
Hmm.
What are you thinking?
I think,
It's
yeah, I don't think it's particularly an Aaron Rodgers issue because Aaron Rodgers does play. He hasn't played great. I'll say that he has not played great at all. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but he hasn't. He's not the main issue. That offensive line is a big issue. That shuffling of the head coach has also been a big issue because you've seen that defense just become way worse ever since Robert Saleh has left. They're playing really unmotivated defense, which I think like they just set up 37 points to the Steelers, and like the Steelers. I'm not saying like the Steelers are bad or anything, but
yeah.
they were up at one point. Like what's it called? It was like I think they were up by two possessions at one
It,
point.
it, it was it was 15-6.
Okay, yeah. So like it was two possessions at one point. Like and y'all it could have scored again. There was two interceptions by Aaron Rodgers. One of them wasn't his fault. It hit off of Garrett Wilson's chest and it went damn near all the way for a pick six. But I think the biggest issue with this Jets is that offensive line. They're not that bad in the run game. Because Garrett Wilson and Braylon Allen will get through them holes and make big plays on the ground. But they're really bad in pass protection. Aaron Rodgers always looks like he's under duress. And I feel like, and since Aaron Rodgers, coming off that Achilles injury, with a quarterback who's not the most mobile quarterback, but he's always been known for using his legs to move around the back in the pocket or in behind line of scrimmage to kind of make plays, would let his receivers develop routes downfield and everything like that. And he can't do that right now because he can't run because he's 40 years old and he just got done with a serious Achilles injury.
Yeah.
So I just think I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers is the wrong move because it's not like he's like he's the same talent quarterback as Zach Wilson was. You know, he's obviously a way better quarterback than Zach Wilson is. I just think that Zach Wilson really wasn't the Zach Wilson was a problem, but he was not the problem in New York. And I think a lot of it is that offensive line and really just management. It was just mismanagement from the jump for how they handled the Aaron Rodgers situation ever since he got there. And I don't know. Maybe they'll be getting some hope, you know, on the defense side of the ball at least, because Hassan Reddick just ended his holdout and got a restructured contract. And, you know, Hassan Reddick's one of those guys. You know, you love him from his time in Carolina. I love him from his time in Philadelphia. And like I knew he was a dog back in Arizona, but like that doesn't matter right now
Yeah.
because he's on the Jets. But you know, I definitely think that Robert Sala's firing has had a bigger impact on this team than a lot of people would have expected.
I I understand what you're saying, Jaden,
Hmm.
but this is also my thing. Last year, let's think about this. Zach Wilson was the starter for this team last year, correct?
Yep.
Through 7 games, this team was 4-3. They had a winning record last year with a quarterback that doesn't start now.
But the
And this,
defense was key. The defense has not played good these last few weeks. Let up 37 points this week, 23 points last week, which really should have been more. And like what's it called? It's just the defense has not played great the last few weeks. Ever since
but
you
the
know.
offense is playing even worse. That's what I'm trying to say. Like the offensive line, they upgraded our offensive line, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like you can say like that they don't have any pass protection, but this offseason, I mean, I'm pretty sure last year it was the guys that they lost were Lakin Tomlinson to what's it called? I don't know where he. I think he's on the Texans now. But now this year they got John Simpson, who's been in the league for a minute now, solid offensive lineman. Morgan Moses, who was considered one of the best offensive tackles last season, and Tyron Smith. And they kept Elijah Vera Tucker, but I think he's going to be injured now. And Joe Tippmann is a second year guy, and he's already looking good. So I just can't sit here and say like it's all the offensive lineman's fault. But at the same time, they got guys,
Mhm.
and I'm thinking like to me, it's either an Aaron Rodgers thing or just a coaching thing, and like it's really nothing else. And I get the defense can like let up these points, but at the same time, bro, you need to get your situation right with Hassan Reddick. Your whole DB core is questionable for next week.
Mhm.
like like that's what's also cooked. But I mean, literally besides Sauce, everyone's cooked, like starter wise.
Mhm.
But at the same time, you need the offense to score points. We've seen good offenses and bad defenses, and it doesn't look good. I mean, we see the Bengals right now, but hell, they don't look as bad as the Jets, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, like for me, there's really just not much to like say about this team besides like get your shit together, Aaron Rodgers. You
Mhm.
know?
Yeah. Hopefully we see because I think they have a pretty easy schedule going forward now. So I think like they're playing the Patriots this week. So if they can't
Oh,
win
that's
this
a
week,
game.
I don't know what to say because because last time they played blew them out. You know.
Yeah,
So.
and the thing is, they do have an easy schedule going forward. I think I think highest they can go. They really at their full potential, they only lose 2 more games,
Mhm.
and I think that's going to be probably against like the Bills and the Texans probably. I think they
Yeah.
can beat. I think they can beat everyone else. They might have some like weird games in there, like the Cardinals and the Seahawks, but like those games they can win. If they win those games, they're a wild card team at 10-7. But I think that's at their absolute best. You know,
Mhm.
like this team is not looking good at all.
Hey, bro, I
But
just want to let you know an update real quick. This was 3 minutes ago. Jason Tatum currently has 15 points, and
yes,
the Celtics have
sir.
30. The entire New York
Oh,
Knicks team had 17 points.
yes, sir. We already up, twin.
Oh.
Yeah. JT gonna win MVP this year, bro. I'm gonna start a dialogue, bro. We are going to push an agenda.
I'll be pushing the other way. I will never push the Jason Tatum agenda. If Jason Tatum wins, I'm gonna be calling it a fraudulent MVP award. I'm gonna be
What if it
hating
was like you? What if it was unanimous?
like fraud,
Somehow he's still a fraud, even though it's unanimous.
fraud. He ain't play
But
nobody.
that's crazy. But speaking of people playing each other, we're gonna go ahead and get into our games of the week, and I'll go ahead and start this off. My first game is gonna be the Eagles versus the Bengals. And I'm really just excited for this game, just because I mean, we're gonna see two teams that haven't been great this season kind of hash it out, and we're at that point in the season where we're like, these are the type of games where you're gonna see who's really made of what.
Hmm.
Like who's gonna make that playoff push? Like we're mid season. Like that's crazy to think about. Like oh, we're mid season.
What are we in? Week 8? Week 9?
Yeah, we're we're
God.
we're basically there.
Final stretch, bro.
That's what I'm saying. And my team's 1-5. Bro, when will the pain end, bro?
Sucks for
Please.
you. 4-2, baby. 4-2.
But my next game is the Bills at the Seahawks. And I'm excited for this game too. I'm usually just always excited to see the Bills play. Like the I feel like sometimes they'll start off slow, but whenever they get going, they get going. And I'm excited to see them play in Seattle because Seattle's been rocking this year, like almost every game. Then my third game, I don't know if the quarterback is going to play, but it is going to be the Bears at the Commanders.
Mm.
And no matter if Jaden Daniels plays or not,
Should
I'm
be a
really
good
not
game.
tripping. It should be a good game. Marcus Mariota is going to play. However, he's going to go against a very much better defense
A very
than he
much
played
better
this week.
defense.
Okay, bro.
A very, very better defense.
Bro, half of our team is on the injury report, bro,
And that's
defensive
unfortunate,
wise.
bro. That's
But I'm excited for this game. We're gonna see hopefully two rookie quarterbacks go at it. But if we don't, oh well.
I'm gonna repeat one of the games, because you already knew I was gonna say this one, because my team is actually not bad. The
Okay,
Eagles
bro.
and the
I'm just getting cooked today, bro. This is every Tuesday. I just get cooked.
Bro, if the Eagles were bad, I really couldn't. I don't think I could handle it. I'd like leave the episode like halfway through every time. The game of my first game of the week is the Eagles at the Bengals, like you said. Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow should be must watch entertainment. Um, Jamar Chase against Slay and Q should be a great matchup. And same thing, AJ Brown going the other way. Saquon Barkley should have a good day because we've been saying it all year that Bengals defense has been not as good as they have been in the past. And I think
Yeah,
that if the Eagles can't capitalize on what's it called on their opportunities this game, they will lose to the Bengals. But I think that the Eagles will be fine. But I posted a stat earlier today where it was the Eagles are ranked 32nd in offense the first two drives of the game so far this season. For the rest of the game, they're ranked second in offense in the league. So it's like
that's such a cherry pick stat for y'all. I'm
I
not
know,
gonna lie.
but it's like, bro, but like the thing is, we haven't scored any points in the first quarter of any game this season so far. It's been 7 weeks, so 6 games for us because we had that bye.
I
So
don't
I
think
think
my team did either in like a year. I don't think I don't. I seriously don't remember the last time we scored in the first quarter before Andy Dalton played the Raiders. I seriously don't remember.
this is shade, bro. What's it called? But I think that if were able to score that first drive of the game, our first drive of the game, I think that'll be good signs that it should be smooth sailings for the Eagles. Another game that I have is the Cardinals and Dolphins. The Cardinals just got a big win against the Chargers, making them 3-4, moving them up into second place in the NFC. Was it NFC East? No, NFC West. So, and it's a Dolphins team that should be getting to it back this week. Who I think he should be wearing a Guardians cap, but he said no, he doesn't want to wear it because of personal decision. I think that's a dumb decision. I think it's not going to eliminate the risk of concussion, but it's going to help significantly. and especially with a guy that has had 4 concussions in the last 2 years. I think you should definitely reconsider wearing that Guardian cap. But I think that Dolphins team is a way better team when Tua's out there being playing quarterback for him. And I think that if the Tua is playing, that should be a pretty good game between the Cardinals and that team. Marvin Harrison Jr. versus Jalen Ramsey should be a good matchup for us. My last game is gonna sound a little crazy, just hear me out. It's gonna be the Ravens at the Browns, specifically if the Browns start Jameis Winston, because if Jameis Winston is starting,
Twin.
oh my God, it's gonna like they might get blowed out. But Jameis Winston go balls 50-50 shots in triple coverage will make my day. So I really don't care about anything else but seeing Jameis Winston play. That's the only reason why I have the Browns on this list. Because you know how I feel about Jameis Winston. Like I just love Jameis Winston. He's just a great guy. He's
This is
must-watch
insane of
entertainment
him
every
coming
day,
back.
every week. Like bro, almost
This
came
is
back against the
crazy.
Bengals, bro. If they would have got the onside kick, they would have came back against the Bengals because of Jameis, famous
Oh
Jameis,
my goodness. This dude and Jameis,
because of
bro. Y'all
Crab Leg
don't
Jameis.
understand for real.
You said what?
I said, y'all understand for real. This man, like, you got a secret relationship with
Bro,
Jameis or
it's just
something, bro.
he's so funny, bro. Like the thing is, the way he plays is hilarious too. Cause bro will make the best pass you've ever. Like last year when he was on the Saints, or was it 2 years ago? 2 years ago when he was on the Saints,
Tuesday. Ago.
he threw that one pass in the back of the end zone, a perfect dot, getting tackled. He was damn near perpendicular to the ground. He was getting tackled for a sack, and he threw a dot for a touchdown. Then you look at his time in Tampa Bay, throwing it up into triple coverage for no reason. Like it's just like there's nothing better than watching Jameis play football. Like it'll make you so confused, but it'll be so exciting at the same time. So I can't
He's
ever
the
hate on
king of
Jameis
30 for
Winston,
30.
bro. Like
King of 30 for
great, that's
30, bro.
greatness, bro.
Yeah. But getting away from that, we're going to go ahead and get into our top five teams of the week. And mine switched up a little bit. I have one new team in there and a couple little switcheroos.
Same.
At number five, I have the Buffalo Bills. They have shown throughout the weeks that their offense just keeps on getting better. It honestly pisses me off every week because Joe Brady used to be our offensive coordinator whenever Matt Rule was here. I'm like, I love Joe Brady because he came from that 2019 LSU team,
Hmm.
but we just have like we had 2020 Sam Darnold on our team. Like then we had then we had Baker Mayfield. Why does everyone get good whenever we leave?
Bro, can I tell you something real quick? Mikael
Oh my
Bridges right now
god.
was 0 of 5, 0 of 4 from the three. 0 of 4 from the three. Mikael Bridges. We've been talking about it all. That jump shot, bro. That jump shot. Why have you
Oh
shot
my
four
god,
threes and why
bro.
are you 0 of 5 from the field? Like, ooh,
They leaving him open,
they
bro.
have to be. What happened, bro? Oh my god. And
But
I'm a Mikael Bridges fan. I love the little. That's we have like a little handshake and we got that little thing on it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So it's like, come on now.
but yeah, bro. He's cooked. I'm not gonna lie. But at number four, I have the Baltimore Ravens. I don't. I think they
Hmm.
were number five last week, but I think my top three teams are just better in general. At number three, I have the Minnesota Vikings, and again, I know they lost this week. They. I think they were like two last week, but they lost this week, went down. But I mean, solid loss, I guess. I mean,
Hmm.
no loss really a solid loss, but like you didn't lose by a lot, and you
Yeah.
kind of kept up with them. So I can't move you that far.
Hmm.
At number two, this is the first time I've changed them throughout the whole season. It's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs
Hmm.
at number two, and I know they ended up beating the 49ers by 10, 28 to 18. But at the same time, Trevor Lawrence is playing better than Mahomes right now.
Yeah.
So the team is good, of course, the only undefeated team in the league,
Hmm.
but it doesn't pass the eye test.
Hmm. I feel you.
And at number one, I have the Detroit Lions. I feel like this team has just been solid in and out most of the year. I mean, they got the one L to I think the Bucks that they had,
Hmm.
and I mean other than that, they look solid. Defenses look solid. Dan Campbell fired up every day. So
Hmm. Yeah, hey, that's a great list. I have most of the same teams, so just as I did last week. You know what I'm saying? I'll start at number one this time because I have the Chiefs up there again, just because Patrick Holmes is playing really bad football. You know, just really bad football, but they're undefeated. He finds a way to win, and like it's frustrating because there's no reason why they should be 6-0 right now. But the fact that they are is just a testament to how Patrick Mahomes is as a player and how Andy Reid is as a
yeah,
coach. So I'm gonna keep them at one. Number two, I have the Baltimore Ravens. I'm kind of surprised you had them that low. Just how dominant they've been the last 5 weeks of the season, like, is exactly why they're number two right now. It's just complete dominance on not just the run game. They've had been dominant in the run game, the pass game, and defensively. The only time they really let up defensively is in the fourth quarter, which they're up enough where it's not an issue yet. But that's something that John Harbaugh needs to figure out situationally, like what they're doing wrong.
yeah.
But I think that Ravens team is real complete, and I think if they played the Chiefs again right now, they're beating the Chiefs. Like honestly, both games they lost, they play both those teams right now. They're winning, so I really think that they should be number two. Number three, I have the Detroit Lions. They weren't on my list last week. They were like at six. And I moved them, and they jumped three spots up to number three. Just because after that dominant win against the Vikings, not even dominant win, but just that real close, real great, gritty win that we saw against the Vikings, they had to be number three. Jared Goff is playing at an elite level MVP. I think Jared Goff is honestly should be the have the second best odds right now
Favorite.
for MVP instead of Patrick
Yeah.
Mahomes, behind Lamar Jackson. But yeah, I have that Detroit Lions team at number two. The Vikings are number four. They lost to the Lions, obviously, but they're not gonna go out my top five. It was a close game. Everything that's great about them is still great. Jay Jettas, that defense is great. Brian Flores' scheme is great. Kevin O'Connell's scheme on offense is great. There's a lot of greatness on that team. They just came up a little bit short against the Lions, which is another really great team in the NFC and the NFL. So you can't be really mad at them. Number five, I was gonna put the Steelers because that go ball was going with Russell Wilson in at quarterback. We were talking how we wanted Justin Fields to stay the starter because we didn't like how that whole situation panned out. I still don't like how that situation panned out, but Russell Wilson did ball out on Sunday. I will say that. But the
They
only reason
looked
why
so happy, bro.
you said what, you were happy?
No, they look so
Oh,
happy.
they
The
look
picture
happy.
of Pickens,
Hmm.
Russ, and Najee, bro.
Because what's it called?
Najee was over
Because
here
George Pickens was actually
cheesing.
getting chances on the deep ball. Justin Fields wasn't throwing that deep ball like that. He was playing more smart. But just Russell Wilson was letting that thing fly. That moon ball was going crazy. You didn't see the
Yeah.
guy in the background of the picture where they were all happy, but Matthias Bradley was also happy. He was in the background somewhere. You just didn't see it. You just didn't see it, but he was back there happy. Seeing Russell Wilson cook. Um, but number five, I have the Washington Commanders. Through adversity, they had their starting quarterback go down, who's I think the leader right now for offensive rookie of the year. He went down early with a rib injury, and they were able to still put up 40 points with Marcus Mariota at quarterback. That's just a testament to how great that team is. That defense played great. Not like it was hard because they were playing the Carolina Panthers, but but I think that team should be have a really good game against the Commanders. That the not Commanders, the Bears this week. You know, even if they play without, because I think they would have won. They would win with what's it called, with Jay Daniels in that quarterback. But if Jay Daniels doesn't play, I think it'll be really interesting to see how that team responds with Marcus Mariota at quarterback against a better defense in the Chicago Bears. But I think that
Yeah.
Commanders team is worthy of a top five spot this week.
I meant to say this before I said my top five, but I was gonna give an honorable mention to the Texans.
Mhm.
They be finding ways to win too.
Yeah,
So
but not this week because CJ Stroud had 86 passing yards.
yeah, they were kicked this week,
That bro
but
got little broed by what's it called, Jordan Love. Like he little broed Caleb Williams 2 weeks ago.
yeah. But that's gonna go ahead and wrap up our episode. Thank y'all for tuning in once again. I really like this episode because we're in the depth of the NFL season, so there's always more to talk about. There's always more storylines to talk about, also. But again, Uh, y'all see some reels and graphics from this episode. Make sure to give us y'all's input on everything. Talk to us. We might have a little debate or something. So
Yep, man. Hey,
appreciate you.
appreciate you guys. Fly Eagles fly. You already know how I'm rocking every week, baby. Come on.
Keep pounding, bro.